Hey guys, today I got another Darkworld deck profile for you. This is going to be the deck that I'm playing for this next format. I will be doing a X-Saber deck profile as well. That's another deck that I'm interested in because the format's slowed down quite a bit, I reckon, because of the list. So it'll be nice to revive that old deck. But yeah, so starting off this, you've got the 9 staple cards, 3 Raffas, 3 Snows, and 3 Brows. And to augment that for the Dark Worlds, I'm going to be using 3 silvers this format. Even though you don't have, the 3 eradicators anymore, 3 silver is good because it's such a big body, and because you can just drop it on the first turn under gates 2600, and it can just hold the play down for a period of time until you get the Graphas if you're on a slow day, and if you've got a lot of stuff to go off with, then silver is absolutely great because it just gives you another card to go for game with. That's good, really needed at the moment. We've got the 1 beige. I'm using this because it allows for access into ridiculous graphic plays. On its own, I still think it's a subpar card, but it does the job it's needed to do, and it just gives you another card that you can normal summon, which means that you can feel free to keep using the snows and things like that. Then we're going on to the 2 trances. This is, in my opinion, probably the MVP of the deck at the moment. It's so flexible and it gives you so much more access into both discard outlets, actual bodies of monsters. When you use its effect on the gates, you get a 2-300 beta as well. And it's something that people have to think about because a lot of the time I have to debate out the compulse and things like that with this because people don't want me to get the destruction effect, and that's it's very considerable. It gives you more and more dark, which it really refuels you. So that's really useful. 2 tour guides. Tour guide does what tour guide does. It's it's your fuel for your gates and things like that. And moving on to spells, we've got 3 gates, 3 Darkworld dealings, 3 drag down into the grave, and then moving on from those staples, we've got 3 upstarts, 1 MST. With the Grathas, I feel that more than 1 MST in the main deck is probably unnecessary. It has its uses, but you're pretty safe this format. I think it's not something that you're going to be sitting there worrying about when you're playing Dark Worlds. 1 Dark Hole, I'm going back to using that because I never usually use this card, but I think it's worth it this format again. Slower format, Dark Hole's good again. Allure must be ran. Then I'm going Warning. The thing with this deck now is that because, and I think in a sense the thing with the whole format is because now that we have so much fewer traps we have left are sort of becoming, in my opinion, staples. So Solemn Warning, Deep Prison, Bottomless, Torrential, and Compulsory Evacuation Device. All of those, in my opinion, are things that I'm going to be running in pretty much every deck I make in some capacity in that kind of number. And then you've got the 1 Eradicator, must be played, 1 Deck Dev because it's really good, and Force of Darkness. This is my last tech card, and I've been wanting for this card to be good for so long, and finally we have a slower format, and finally that means you have the chance to set this up, and I love it. It's tested absolutely amazingly to the point that I'm considering putting another one in. It is so good being able to add 2 back, especially for Graphas, and then just getting to pop over and over again, because people think, especially when you're playing against evil swarms, they think they're safe after you've dropped your 3 Graphas, and then when this flips up, it's usually just guaranteed game after that point because of the massive advantage you generate from that. So we then move on to the side deck. Got another trance. This is in here solely for the purpose of early format, just in case that there are more Dark Worlds floating around than usual, but it also provides a nice little add-on in games where your opponent sets a lot, for example against Gravekeepers or against evil swarms. This is very useful in that you can take out your drag downs into the grave, and this can be your discard outlet in its place, and that is quite useful. You don't get the advantage that you get from drag down, but you do have a way of getting Dark World monsters into grave, and that's of fundamental importance in this deck, obviously. Then we've got the 2 other MSTs, obvious reasons for that. Lance just particularly against decks like Gravekeepers and back row heavy decks. It just to save your graphers when you don't have the viruses. 2 smashing, particularly against agents, but also against evilswarm to bait out their infestation. Take devastation virus because small monsters can be annoying. 2 dark smogs. This is brilliant. Such a good card. It shuts down so many people. It lets you also get essentially a Raigeki break when you're discarding with Grapha as well in your opponent's turn. It's a great card. It works really well with the silvers and the brows, because you not brows, the silvers and the beige, because you can then bounce them back for Grapha and then you can discard them again. So it really refills you. Obviously, it's great with snow, and it's also great with the Forces of the Darkness, and that's another reason why I've been considering putting up as 2, because when you side this in, Forces of Darkness becomes so good, even better than before. Then you've got 2 skill drains. Skill drain, I rarely side this in, but it's good to have, because if you come up against it that is so reliant on effects, this will wreck them. Then 2 Ghost match. This is mainly in a holdover, and I suppose after seeing the 2 YCS results, this will probably stay in. It's good. It's good against the Mate in the sense that it makes them slow down. It doesn't really actively do much, but it's enough. And then I haven't got to retest them out yet, but 2 Overworked, and that's solely in there for Fire Fist, because that deck is really good this format. If we move on to the extra deck, 1 Zen Mains, 1 Musa Rhythm, 1 Tempo, 1 Leviair the Sea Dragon, 1 Leviathan, 1 Cowboy, 1 Maestroke, 1 Photon Papilloperative, 1 Utopia, 1 Gem Knight Pearl, 1 Adrius, 1 Tyrus, 1 Heliopis, 1 Gimmick Puppet, and Tachyon Dragon. So yeah, that is my Darkworld deck for this format. Like I said, I'm going to try and produce some more content that isn't so Darkworld orientated. I will try and get some gameplay videos up, whether it's on Dueling Network or on in real life. Yeah, so comment, rate and subscribe, and tell me what you think. I do actually like reading feedback and things like that when they're serious, and from people who are genuinely trying to have a discussion about them, and I will always reply to those kinds of things. But yeah, peace out.